call this meeting of the Moore County Board of Elections to order. Please join me in standing and saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start with the roll call of members of the board, and as you state your name, please indicate whether you have any conflict of interest with reference to the matters that we're taking up this afternoon.
Holly Powell, no conflict.
Martin Carpenter, no conflict.
Bob Howell, no conflict.
Antoinette Kelly, no conflict.
Susan T. Adams, no conflict.
Thank you. And before we look at the absentee ballots, just a quick reminder, we welcome, encourage participation by the public, either online or in person. A reminder, when you do come, if you have a public comment to make, please review the policies and sign the sheet by the door. Anything else along those lines? And no, she's just a general welcome.
She's all there is.
I know, but today she is, but who knows who could be out there
Yes.
and TV land. All right, enough of that. Like for the absentee ballots, turn it over to the staff.
If you guys will check the machine. Maybe for November. We'll need some excitement then, right?
All right, Gina and Carrie.
Okay, I have placed in front of Susan our big stack of ballots that we have for today. She's gonna read them off, and then because we only have 2 civilian, I'm just gonna let her pass them all down to be spot checked and double check the duplicate them.
Civilian 63, 73, and military 19.
That's it. Thank you.
Is everybody up to date with all of this? Okay.
Great.
You do a better job with all this.
I make a motion to accept these ballots.
Second.
Discussion. All right, all those in favor say aye.
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 It's unanimous.
Each you wanna just go ahead and look here up.
You already did.
No, open them.
Open them.
No, does somebody else need to? We both need to say.
They passed it on.
Okay.
fill out the consent.
Yes.
Yes, good call.
Don't let Marty open up.
I won't either. Maybe you'll stay with the five parties.
Okay, now that all the ballots have been fed in, if you guys want to check the numbers on the sheet and initial. Sorry, I stole your pen.
A procedural question.
Yes, ma'am.
There, at the last meeting, Tawana briefed us about what happened with the two precincts where the memory sticks were switched. And since then, she shared with us a Facebook post that was addressing that issue. I think we need to discuss it a little bit further and decide whether there should be some sort of response to that. And so I'm asking if we can amend the agenda or whether we have to have a separate meeting.
Well, I will, thank you for bringing that up. I will express one understanding that I have about the limitations according to general statutes for absentee ballot meetings, and I might be misinformed about that, but I will, for that question, I'll refer to Ms. Dixon. My understanding was that absentee ballot meetings were restricted to the consideration of absentee ballots, and if there are other matters before the board, it has to be, I think there will probably be two options. Well, first of all, considered in a separate meeting, and if that turns out to be a meeting where there is other matters under consideration. For instance, last week we had a meeting to consider the early voting plan following the absentee meeting, and during that meeting there was a motion to add an agenda item, which was the very matter that Holly is talking about. So I don't know if there might, almost time, also be the option for today adjourning the absentee ballot meeting and then calling a second meeting. On the other, that may be an issue because it wasn't noticed. So if there is the option for a motion to amend the agenda for an absentee ballot meeting so that we could address that matter, then personally, I'm open to that. If you have a clear understanding or precise, on the precise restrictions for absentee ballot meetings, then I think we need to do that.
So for any meeting that's a special meeting, you have to stick to the agenda. I haven't noticed that aspect of what wants to be discussed. So I still have to be able to notice that discussion, and I haven't done it. So that would still have to be a separate meeting where I would still have to be able to notice it for the public to know that that's something that the board wants to discuss.
Okay, therefore,
If you
it's
want-
not an option for us to
Correct.
amend this agenda. All right. Second question.
So the next time that you would meet would be,
Saturday.
well,
But
I
it-
do it on a Saturday. Your next, you would meet Monday.
I
Where
can't
you're,
read it on Saturday.
because if I don't have it, well,
You don't think you'll have it?
no. To be honest, I only had 3. You have your meeting on Monday and you have your meeting on Tuesday.
So we could have a second meeting on Monday to talk about this. So,
Well, your second meeting will be it will be earlier because your second meeting isn't until 5-ish.
yeah, but it's absentee ballots again, and if it's a couple of absentee ballots, we're done. Then we do the next meeting, and I don't know how long it's gonna take to discuss it. But otherwise, every meeting we got's an absentee ballot meeting until after the election.
Well, like I said, if I give it to Misty or Laura today, then it gives me time to post it by Monday.
What is the statute that says we can't do?
It's the open meeting law. And because the board doesn't meet on the regular, you consider it special meeting.
Okay,
And what you put on your meeting list is what you have to discuss. So usually what me having to amend your agenda to add something to it, that's what I've been using like as a catch-all to get through it. But for this one, I have to notice everything that you do because everything you do is a special meeting. So that's why I said this meeting, if you do it for Monday, it would actually be before your absentee meeting because that absentee meeting isn't until 5 o'clock, so you could actually meet a little bit earlier.
Let me ask a question. We have a meeting, an absentee meeting scheduled for 5:30 Saturday. Right, we have one. Are you saying if there aren't any absentee ballots, that meeting will be canceled?
Yeah.
So we can cancel a meeting for which there's no absentee ballots?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're thinking that might be canceled?
It might be, but depending on, I don't know if there's anything coming or not.
Here's another clarification. And I'm afraid that I don't recall the resolution, if there was one, of the discussion months ago that we had about including on our agenda, whether that's for a special meeting, absentee ballot meeting, other meetings that are scheduled according to the required by general statutes, depending on when election day is. And that is the provision of old business and new business as items on our agenda regularly. And I don't believe, or I can't cite the general statutes, but in the handbook that board members received during our installation or perhaps at the meeting immediately following that, there's a section on the ordinary business in the organization of a meeting, and new business and old business are included in that outline of the meeting. So I'm just wondering, is there no, where's the provision for those kind of matters? And it looked like what Ms. Powell is bringing up could fall under that if there is a provision for old and new business.
Yeah, but if I put old business and new business, then you have to stick to what is, like, okay, so then what you would have to do is, before I have to put it towards legal and the commissioner clerk to review the special meeting notice, that means the board will have to look at it, add everything to it then, and then once they review it, then that's it. And then once it goes out, nothing can be added, because like I said, you do not have regular meetings. Unless the board wants to change where you have a meeting that's scheduled every month as a regular meeting, then that's where your old regular business, new business can be placed and be placed like that. But because it's a special meeting, nothing really is supposed to be added or taken away from the meeting because it's a special meeting, because you don't meet on the regular like most boards meet.
So basically, every meeting we have is a special meeting.
Yes, because you don't meet on the
That's-
regular.
Okay, it looks like and look, I'm sorry.
No, you're
Yes.
just exactly what you're talking about. Adam. We need new business and old business. I understand where you're coming from, that
So that means.
these are special meetings. We do not have any regular meetings. And I guess that's something we need to talk about. Do we need to establish regular meetings?
I think at the very least, seems like there's some fuzzy areas here that.
And the reason why is because some of the departments who had boards, they weren't following open meeting laws. And so now some of the board departments had to go have their stuff checked. And I had asked the county attorney, because I told her, I said, well, my board, we don't have regular meetings. We meet, sometimes it's emergency meetings, and you have to file like a 24-hour notice and all this other case, because if I don't meet the 24-hour deadline, then I have to push it back and all this other kind of stuff. And she was like, you gotta stick to what is on your notice. So that means, like I said, I would have to put out the notice to the board members. You would have to look at the notice, add, take away, then have them approve it. But that means I have to make sure that everybody is approving everything so that I can get it posted and placed out there before the deadline of the date that you set your meeting. So I'm still within that guidelines of the 24 hours.
So there's not a provision for bringing a matter to the attention of the board after that 24-hour window before our announced meeting time.
Not that I'm aware of. Not the way that it was explained to me now. Now I can recheck, but from the way it was explained to me now.
Okay, so it looks like,
Unless, like I said, you have regular meetings where then it's just a regular agenda where you come in and then you do your old business, new business, and it's, but if you have nothing to discuss, then what do you put down on that agenda?
well, that, I think we've said about as much as we can on the topic at this meeting, unless Holly could.
I'm hesitant to wait until next week because this issue is out in the public. And it's been publicly, comments have been made about it on Facebook posts that you shared with us. I haven't looked for it. I don't know if people piggybacked off of that. I don't know what they've said, but things have been said to me about people in the public being concerned about integrity of the election in light of this issue that came up. And the fact that it was never caught by anybody either here or at the state board level. It was caught by an independent person looking at data. And I think it's something that you did address in terms of how you thought you could prevent it in the future. But I think we need to talk about it more. And again, we don't need to do that now, but I'm concerned about it, and I'm concerned about it in the context of we're in a highly charged environment concerning election integrity. And I think as a board, we need to be showing that we're doing everything we can to ensure that and to reassure the public about that integrity. And if we have an absentee ballot meeting scheduled for Saturday, we still have time to call a regular, or schedule a meeting before or after it to talk about this other topic. So I would propose that we do that.
And I agree with Holly there to talk about it, because we haven't told you to do anything. We haven't talked about it to determine a course of action. So if we have a second meeting, either before or after the absentee ballot meeting, we can address it. And then out of that, if there's action items, we can assign them accordingly.
Yes. As an expression of opinion, I agree with what you're saying, and that something that we need to address as a board in the form of a meeting, whatever adjective you want to put on the front of it. I feel like we're stuck in a kind of a catch-22 situation with the notion of what can be covered at an absentee ballot meeting.
Well,
And
we can research that
that's right.
further, but I was gonna say, in favor of noticing this issue, there may be members of the public interested in attending our discussion of that.
I absolutely
Because it
agree.
is such a public concern.
So therefore, it would be
It
better,
would be make more sense to have it noticed.
better not to talk about it at this meeting. And I'm not even sure it would be appropriate, considering all of this, to have a formal motion, second, and blah. But I do think that we can just assent to do what you said, to think about it, to discuss it, of course, with Ms. Dixon. She can respond to us as she does with everybody's name in the BCC line. We won't communicate with each other by email and more than one person at a time in order to avoid inadvertently holding a meeting, and we don't want to run out of the open meetings rule. So let's leave it at that, and we will consider it and research it on our own outside of this meeting, and communicate appropriately in preparation for it.
That's not what I'm proposing. I'm proposing let's either have a meeting before or after the absentee ballot for this issue. We can research what we can do in the future about meetings. In the meantime, but let's not wait. Let's decide.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to indicate that I was disagreeing with that. I agree that we should have a meeting. We've got a slot on Saturday. That has been announced.
Now, I have a question about this Saturday, because we shut down early voting at 3:00. And then we are trying to get equipment, laptops, and everything of that nature ready so that we can do supply pickup Sunday morning from 9 to 1.
Okay.
And the reason why we're trying to get that completed as quickly as possible, because it's Mother's Day and we're trying to be mindful of our chief judges who are mothers, so that we can get that done and completed for that supply pickup on Sunday. And so I'm just trying to be mindful of the fact that we're shutting down at 3. We have books that we still have to print. We have laptops that we have to get ready. We have everything that we need to set up here, and then we're trying to have a meeting and get that notice to the public, meaning that when are we going to have time to get all of that done so that we can be ready
to get everybody in and out, because our first pickup starts at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning.
When would you prefer to discuss this?
I don't know, that's what I'm trying to figure out, when you're trying to do this meeting and notice it to the public. I don't even know if we can even do that meeting on a Saturday, because I've never seen a meeting done on a Saturday, and trying to have it noticed to the public
Okay,
yet.
let's switch to, how about, before our regularly scheduled meeting on Monday?
Well, that's what I was asking, but Holly was saying that might be too late.
Well, I think we're
I just
reconsidering that.
didn't wanna, I'm assuming nobody wants to come back between now and Saturday. And even though that's not.
But if we get write-ins, we have to come in anyway. Mail-ins, we have to come in anyway.
On Saturday.
But
Let's do it then.
But I'm saying, you're trying to, if you were to do that meeting on Saturday, what time would you try to do? Because after we finish with you, that's when we kick in to do everything else. And if you're trying to invite the public to this meeting, that means we wouldn't be able to start until that discussion and everything else. We wouldn't have as many people here on a Monday meeting. I mean, well, yes, we would.
You're gonna be busy Monday.
Well, I think if we're interested in,
Well,
Friday,
I mean, if we notice it today.
we'll have to get it out. Yeah, I can get it out.
48 hours, so we can do it Friday. Today's Tuesday, right?
Mhm.
Friday at what time?
Unless it's in the
Because
morning.
I'm at work.
I can come anytime Friday.
Friday afternoon, I'm not, Friday morning I'm available.
I can't do
I can't do Friday until afternoon.
I can't do Friday until like the afternoon, like 5:30.
Is it too late to do Thursday?
Yeah, because I haven't written it up, and I have to get it approved by them.
Have to approve the agenda.
I get it. It always gets approved even before I send it out to you. They have to overlook it. How late
Alright, so-
Friday?
I'm obligated from about 12:30 on Friday,
Until,
9 o'clock.
Oh,
clearly
Is it
Saturday is
Friday?
difficult for the staff. Does Monday,
Yes, Monday
won't
would
that
be
be
better.
better?
Yeah.
No?
No,
Okay.
because he's not available Monday. Is that right or am I wrong?
I'm good, Monday, I don't know.
Monday afternoon.
I'm
Good
good
for
Monday.
5.
So it is better going for staff.
I'm not
It's the
Monday.
day before- it's the day before the election.
Yeah.
But see, what, on Monday, what we do is, so we go out on the route, then we get ready for any absentees that we have. Once we get done with the absentee meetings, our poll workers are out on the site and we troubleshoot with the poll workers from 5 until they finish with the site. And we're here troubleshooting with them until everybody is done. And a lot of times, we don't get out of here until about 8 or 9 o'clock or until they're finished. So
Okay,
that's our Monday.
this might seem
So,
silly as well, but what about election day itself? I mean, I know that there's things that go on, but my recollection of previous, excuse me,
I don't think election day is reasonable because this room's gonna be set up for them to bring all their materials back. So many other things are going on.
what, Amy?
What do you say?
she said, what, community center?
Right, if we, I mean, even if we don't have any absentee ballots, right, we already have a meeting scheduled.
that's what I
Because that's
said.
what we're saying. I
That's
don't
what
know
said
about
10
meeting
minutes
on a
ago, and it shot
Saturday.
me down.
But what says we can't meet on the Saturday?
I was just gonna check because
You think it has to be a weekday?
I would think it would have to be a weekday. I don't know, because I haven't put it out there to her to get checked yet.
This being a
Well,
special,
hold on,
it's a special
let me-
meeting we're having for the-
Can you find out?
That's what I have to do. I have
Can
to
you
find
find
out
out
first.
now and see? Because that seems like Saturday is the best day for us.
unless you come earlier before early voting ends.
And then come back.
Do we have,
It has to be two separate meetings anyway.
Yeah, but
do we have to do absentee ballots on Saturday? If we have one, can we push it to Monday to look at that ballot? Can you change the absentee ballot meeting from 5:30 to earlier?
It's been noticed already.
Can you renotice it? It'll be 48 hours.
That's been set already. I have to do that by a certain time.
And that wouldn't be able to be done until, the absentee meeting can't be done until one stop closes anyways, because we have to see if ballots come in there. Because they can drop.
they can turn.
Yeah, they can turn them in.
It looks like the other option is then the Wednesday after the election or the Friday after the election, probably. I'm looking at my schedule, like Wednesday after the election or Friday, Thursday, I'm not.
Can we do it before the absentee meeting on Sunday?
Wednesday's good for me.
Pardon?
Wednesday's good.
What happened to Tuesday?
It'll be Wednesday the 15th.
I was just listening to you. What happened to Tuesday? It's election day. and
It's election
That
day.
must be inappropriate. Not inappropriate, but whatever. she
Too
said.
many other things going on. What else are we doing at the 3 o'clock Friday meeting next week? Is that,
What 3 o'clock Friday meeting on the 17th?
you don't have that on
We
your
have a meeting.
calendar?
No, I
No,
don't.
I don't either. We
Do
have a
we have a
meeting on
meeting
Friday.
on Friday the 17th?
Yes.
That's usually the,
Canvas.
That's to review
That's
those
next
exception forms.
Oh.
Canvassing's the following week, yeah.
That's right.
I had nothing on the 17th,
Am I the only one who have that on the calendar?
I guess so.
Mine's at 9. I do. Is Friday,
I just know
okay?
the Friday after election day is when we do the provisional, the ID exception form reviews.
Okay. We could do it then. No.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that she thought that would be too long, but if I'm fine with that.
Well,
At this point,
doesn't seem like a lot of other good, I mean, there's so many other things going on. And I haven't looked to see if there's comments, do you know? Are there responses to the comment?
I don't because,
Can you see them?
no, I can't because, the lady who's writing them has blocked me personally from years ago, but I think she's just at this point fear mongering. Because I feel as if she was really concerned, she would have called and had us explain it to her. Just my thoughts, because I don't really see.
Well,
why not let's hold off that discussion
here's part of
since we're still live.
what I've also heard is that she's pushing the pilot to approval,
She is.
which concerns me because I think we should get out ahead of the story, to show our concern and what we're doing.
Agreed, I think we agree with that. So I'm just
That's-
asking that we
that's-
hold off on the discussion
We're actually having a
of the
discussion
matter
now.
I know.
until we actually have that meeting.
We're not discussing what to do about it.
Yeah.
It's hard to. I guess we're waiting because she's checking
Yeah,
on
she's checking
Saturday.
something, yeah.
Checking this.
I'm looking on my Facebook for that article to see if anything's come up. Can't find anything right now. Do we know if she took it down?
Was it in Moore County, ask the neighbor?
It's in a private group.
Do you know?
There's no more comments, as you can see.
Who it was?
Well, it's not very.
I'm sorry, you said that?
Discussion.
There's no more comments. No additional comments,
Yeah, I didn't see,
just the three that were.
Yeah.
Meeting lasted 4.5 minutes. Discussion for the next hour.
Carrie, do we know how many people watch our meetings online? Do you have when people check in, is it
It
tallied
says
up?
how many viewers there have been.
Yeah, to say, well, 10 people viewed the last meeting or 5 people viewed, how do you get that data?
You can just go to the YouTube page, you can see how many people.
So you can see how many people viewed that meeting? Do you know how many people viewed that meeting?
I don't, but once I close out this live, I can tell you.
Okay,
So I called, but I left messages. I haven't, no one's responded.
All right, we need to find a way to bring this meeting to a close. Then how about this, that, Ms. Dixon, when you hear back about the possibility, the legality of a Saturday meeting, it looks like that's what the board is in favor of. And I think staff as well would be open to that, better than a meeting before our regularly scheduled time. I think there's also was the question of, is it possible if an absentee ballot comes in on Saturday, could we consider that at our Monday meeting? I think maybe you said no, because that meeting.
Well, I sent that one too.
Okay. All right, so then can we leave it then, that you report back on what response you get from the county attorney, and based on that, as you've done before, suggest a couple of options with pros and cons for the meeting to discuss this matter of the previous election returns, and then let us respond back to you on our availability for a meeting. Is everybody okay with that?
I am, but I'd like to also mention that some other issues that came up to me could be added also if we're gonna have that one. Without discussing what they are. It has to do with absentee ballot drop-off at early voting sites and something about what observers can do during their times at the precincts on election day. And that was it. Those two issues were brought up to me, which I'd like to also be able to discuss with the board.
Any objections to that?
And Holly had indicated that if Saturday is not okay, that next Wednesday or next Friday would be workable for her.
Next Friday, not the 17th,
Next Friday,
the following.
yeah, not this Friday, next Friday.
Well, the Friday's fine with me.
that Friday I'm not,
But
the 10th, yeah.
No, I'm talking about the
The se-
following Friday.
The 17th,
Oh,
the Friday after
17th, yeah.
election day.
Yeah, I can't do it this
I'm
Friday
okay.
myself.
Oh, you're okay the
On
17th?
17th, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine the 17th. How about you,
So
Tim?
this Saturday, Wednesday the 15th, or Friday the 17th?
Wednesday the 15th, I have an appointment.
I can't do Wednesday.
All right. Okay, so this Saturday,
I can't do
Or the-
Saturday. I thought we weren't gonna do Saturday because of all everything that was going on Saturday.
How about y'all email me what days y'all can do to help?
You know what, I'll just go along.
Because
with whatever,
since
because
we've already.
that was not there. Saturday was an option. So,
Well, I thought we already had a meeting Saturday scheduled for 3
We
o'clock.
do, we have one Saturday that, is it 3
Oh, it's
o'clock
5:30.
or 5:30? It's at 5:30, not 3
Yeah, not
o'clock.
3.
We were trying to get the Saturday 3 o'clock scheduled for what we're talking about now, so we could get it finished and decided upon, and then have our 5:30 meeting. And then after that, that's when Tawana was letting us know all of the stuff that was happening on Saturday, which would be a very busy day for us to have a second meeting because of everything that was going on. So if that meeting was Saturday, it'd have to be at 3 o'clock or 4, something like that.
Could you come to a meeting at 4 o'clock?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't know you were talking
Since
to
you said that
me.
Saturday was out and then it started to sound like,
No, I said Saturday. I thought all of us decided Saturday was not a good day. But
I'm
I
okay
know-
with Saturday. I could do 4 o'clock for one and 5:30 for the other.
Me too.
You can't
I'll have to make some
do
major adjustments,
adjustments,
but
yeah.
yeah.
I'll do the same.
But we don't know yet if we can have it Saturday.
But if we can have it Saturday, 4 o'clock, is everybody good with 4 o'clock?
yes.
I don't see how we can be prohibited from having it Saturday when we're having an absentee ballot. When we already have a meeting scheduled Saturday. It's obviously not illegal. But,
Yeah, it's another special meeting. If we need a special meeting.
as long as we notice it.
That's what's special about special meetings.
Okay, all of that sounds logical, but sounds like we've agreed to let the director talk to the attorney.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. Is there anything else from the board or the staff? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All right. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.